Tom. Yeah, let's look at this here. You put one of your biggest positions. I'm assuming you're talking about ARKHAM. Last days and weeks. You put it on with my buy. Yeah. But I'm not sure why you're saying 33 cent would be close to a 50% drawdown. Would also cost a lot of time to get back up. Yeah, well, of course. I mean, if it's down there, I need to check when I bought that, but I didn't. I don't think I'm confused here. 33 cent. Yeah, ARKHAM. Here's ARKHAM here. Yeah, you can see. I mean, that's 52, almost 53 cent. 52, 53 cent. So, I mean, it's basically back to break even here. I know it's down, maybe down slightly. I don't know how many percentage that is. Is it 5% down at the moment? This was nasty, a big drop down. I'm not sure why you're saying 33 cent. Was that the low? Well, this low here, this is 33 cent. I am confused. I don't get why you're saying 33 cent. Am I missing something here? Are we talking? Maybe you're looking at this line, right? Maybe you're looking at that line. And no, so I think you maybe got confused from my post, which is confusing me now. Okay, a couple of things. Well, in theory, right? In theory, this deviation should hold, right? I'm looking for it to hold, unless we're getting a bigger crash in the market. This deviation here should hold, right? And there's a couple of other examples about it, and I posted about it today. Oh, actually, yeah, you're looking at this here, so maybe this is where you're coming from. Yeah, exactly. SUA and ARKHAM had the same structure. Well, Tom, so what I'm hoping, I mean, I'm hoping that this structure kind of holds. See the deviation below the first low. See the deviation here below the first low. Yes, there's push-ups and not much of a dip here in SEI. It did drop a lot. It had that dip here. This is the dip we're kind of hoping that this is happening, and this can build its way out of this. And before you know it, you know, come back up. And if it starts to come back up, well, you know, maybe it can keep going. I mean, that's the dream, as they say. That's the hope. Now you said SUA. It's had the same structure as SUA. Sorry, I wasn't prepared for this to be at multiple charts. SUA and ARKHAM had the same structure. Still room to fall. So I'm not really seeing what you're saying there with the same structure. You know, obviously this was a larger drawn out drop that is kind of starting to round back up. This is obviously shorter and rounding back up. There is obviously, if you'd accumulated below the first low down here, probably even better for the second low. You know, if you accumulated below that second low, you would have been better off. But I see the same big first candle, but I don't really see the same other structure. This one was more drawn out and more sell-off. I do know and understand that, yeah, it's frustrating, right? I don't think we'll get down to 33 cent, Tom, but anything is possible. And this is why I say, you know, it's always, you said it's your biggest position. For me, you put one of your biggest positions on it. You know, it's okay putting one of your biggest positions on it, but you still need good money management if you're putting a big position on it. You know, I always say you need to be willing to average down into something if it goes wrong. I'm not saying everybody has capital and everybody, you know, but no matter how much money, like if you had $1 billion in your account and you put it all on one trade, you can lose $1 billion. It really does not matter how much money you have. Money is irrelevant. The amount of money is irrelevant. The money management is the key to everything, the key to success, and the key to continued growth. So, you know, it's so important to stress this, and you know, you're probably fed up with me talking about it, but it is very important. So I don't know how, you know, what a big position is or whatever. What percentage wise, money, the amount of money doesn't matter. It's the percentage is the most important thing. But overall, Tom, I have not given up on this. I mean, I like it. It's frustrating that you know, we're still in this range, whatever way you want to draw this. You know, my hope is that we can somehow gain some momentum. It was a shame that this kind of petered out and dropped back down, because there were some nice gains on it originally. I'm not saying the gains were great, but if we were break even here, I mean, that was up 50% at one point. that was nice, and now it's back to break even. And I have quite a few coins like that that pull back, like Band as well. I was up 70% or something on Band, and now it's almost back to break even or so. I don't know where it is actually. I don't know. I just know it's lost a lot of its gains. And QTUM is another one that has gave back the gains, which are, they're frustrating because that was also up 50% or something. So I had hoped to break out and hold those gains and be able to capitalize on them on a new year. Obviously, it didn't work out that way. As I mentioned in the chat many times, new years can change everything. If things are very bullish, it can flip around and you can start to be bearish on a new year. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of these did. They got the pullbacks. Now, the hope is that these are pullbacks creating a yearly wick, before, well, I mean, ideally something like that. I mean, let's look at the yearly. Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, this would pop up and flip green again, and would be able to continue higher and do something like this, and continue on its merry way. But it's too early to tell. Obviously, the dips are never good. Overall, I like this structure. The worry is, I'll just say it here right now, but the worry is obviously you have a red year. If it is having a red year, I will probably average into that and buy lower. I don't know. Do I want to be holding for a full year on it? I don't. But I'm just trying to process. Like, I like this structure is what I'm trying to say. And at some point, I see this chart doing something like this. So there is money to be made, but how much patience are we going to need? And that's a tricky thing with the market. Obviously, I hope we're not having a red year. I don't think we're going to have a red year. I think this should be a green year. I think we should move higher. Coming into the halving, we all kind of expect some more upside coming into the halving. We've got the ETF. Hopefully, it's not a huge sell the event type situation, and hopefully it attracts more money to the markets. And if it's attracting more money to the markets, well, if we have patience, then everything should work out. But I agree with you. A 50% drawdown, if it got to that, it would not be nice. I personally, at this point, I don't think it'll get there. A lot will depend on the reaction to the market off the ETF. At the moment, we're still at break even, or very, very close to it. Slightly underwater, I think. I don't know my exact entry point. I just imagine I bought it that same day as you bought it, I'm imagining. So it's definitely down a little bit.